Hello students, welcome to the next update on the topic current affairs. Let us start with the first news bit. The first news bit is from Niti Ayog. It is told by a Niti member. We'll talk about Niti little later. The news bit says that Indian agriculture is expected to grow at 3%. Now this is not great at all because considering the percentage of population which is engaged in agriculture, Indian agriculture growing at 3% is a very bad news for all of us, but can't help that has been the case since years, and this is going to continue. Anyway, let us see what is this Niti member, Niti Ayog is all about. Now in India, as soon as we got independence, we set up something called the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission used to have the Prime Minister as a chairman, and there used to be an economist who used to be the deputy chairman, and they used to plan for the country's growth. For example, the 5-year plans which were there in India, which we borrowed the idea from USSR, which was there in India till recently, we had 12 5-year plans. It is the product given by Planning Commission. Now here what happens is in 2014, when the new government was formed by Narendra Modi, the Planning Commission was abolished and it was replaced by Niti Ayog. Now Niti, if you take Niti as a word, it means policy. So an organization which is responsible for coming out with policy. But it is not restricted only to policy making, but it is considered as the think tank of our country. Think tank is they do a lot of research, analysis, and then they come out with the policies. The best thing here is it will have the Prime Minister as the chairman, and it will also have all the chief ministers of the states. So each chief minister will get an opportunity to discuss the state problems with the Niti Ayog. So that makes it very easy for Niti Ayog to come out with very specific policies for the states. That's how the Niti Ayog is working. Now what is the expansion of Niti? Niti stands for National Institute for Transforming India. This is very important for us from the perspective of CSEET current affairs exams. So this you have to remember. Niti Ayog was formed in the year 2014. That is also very important. Before Niti Ayog we had Planning Commission. So all this is very important from the entrance exam point of view. Let's go to the next news bit. Dollar weakens, rupee jumps 52 paise to 4-week high. So that's the news. See, yesterday we were talking about WTI and Brent and all that. There are certain indices which all of us should keep a track of, that tells us in which direction our economy is going. One is Brent, we will come to know the crude oil prices. Second is the dollar versus the rupee rate. Third is Sensex, it is the sensitivity index. It is the index of BSE. BSE stands for Bombay Stock Exchange. Next it is the Nifty. Nifty stands for National 50. It is the index of NSE. NSE is National Stock Exchange. Then the gold prices, then we have the rate of inflation. So these are the basic indexes or indices which we should know, and we can analyze a lot of things if we know and understand how they work. Now there is a small analysis that is given here. Higher the dollar value, it favors the exporters. Always remember this. When dollar becomes stronger, exporters will be happy. Lower value of dollar favors the importers. You should always remember this. So when the dollar prices become higher, exporters will be happy. When the dollar prices reduces, importers will be happy. This is to be understood by us. Right. Let's go to the third bit. It's been almost 2-3 days now. This news is in trend. Now a person from Mumbai, his name is Sritama Bose. He filed an RTI with RBI asking what happened to the top 50 borrowers and who are willful defaulters, and RBI in reply to the RTI application told that their loans have been written off. And as soon as this RTI became public, there was a widespread discussion, debate, argument, and it started getting politicized. Now what is this whole issue about? Now the finance minister of the country has come out with explanation to this. Now the opposition was telling that all these people have been left off the hook, and their loans, which is in tune of 68,000 crores, have been written off. Now the finance minister has come out and given explanation to this. In the first thing, she has told about, she has given the definition of willful defaulters. I shall just read it out for you. Those defaulters who do not repay despite having capacity to pay, divert or siphon off funds, or dispose of secured assets without the bank's permission are categorized as willful defaulters. People who have money, who have taken loan, but they are not repaying the loan, such people are called willful defaulters. This is the first thing. Second thing that you have to understand here is what is writing off, written off, or write off. Write off is from the books of accounts, these bad loans will be removed. That is called writing off. And third one is waive off. What is the difference between written off and waive off? Waive off is the person is told you need not pay the loan. That is waive off. Written off is from the books of accounts it is removed, but the efforts will be continued to make sure that he repays the loan. So that's the difference between written off and waive off. And the finance minister has also told that RBI or the government will continue to follow up and will get the loan, and RBI has a 4-year cycle after which the loans are written off. That's what the finance minister has told. One more thing to be remembered here by us is who is the finance minister of India? Very important from the perspective of examination. Her name is Nirmala Sitharaman. We discussed about the defense minister. Our defense minister is Mr. Rajnath Singh. Railway minister is Mr. Piyush Goyal. Then we have finance minister. Her name is Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman. And these are some of the important ministries, and we should know the ministers and their names. Right, we'll go ahead. Next is again not a great news. This news comes from Boeing and Airbus. Boeing and Airbus are two large scale manufacturers of aeroplanes and other related equipments and tools and parts and all those things. They supply their goods and services across the world, and Boeing has cut down jobs, and the CEO of Airbus has told we will have to look forward for the gravest of crisis. So that means that it is going to be very, very tough, bad times for the entire aviation industry. Now, if you see what is happening in India, although the lockdown is going to be relaxed most probably in most of the cities after May the 3rd, the airlines will be given guidelines and they have to follow. So we can expect that the aviation industry will not open up completely soon after May 3rd. And there are certain guidelines that are being told that there will be only one passenger sitting in, or there should be a gap of one seat between two passengers. So such things are being discussed. So we have to wait for the guidelines. So more or less what we understand is the aviation industry is not in the great of the shapes. Right. Now this is another interesting news that is coming. We see that Flipkart Meru partner to facilitate delivery of essentials. Now we all know Flipkart is an Indian based company. Binny Bansal and Sachin Bansal, they were classmates, and they started this company sometime in 2000, early or mid 2005 or mid 2010, during that time. And this company is one of the largest e-commerce companies of India. This was very recently taken over by Walmart. Walmart is the biggest retailer from the US. Now Flipkart has partnered with Meru. Now what is this Meru all about? Meru is a taxi service provider. This is almost a 10-12 year old company, and they are partnering with Meru for the transport of the essential goods in certain states, certain cities. It includes Bangalore, Delhi NCR and Hyderabad and other places. Now yesterday we read that Amazon has signed up for 55 railway lanes for transporting its goods, and here we see Flipkart is tying up with Meru. So the good news, this is improvement in business. This is again another interesting news, very, very positive in nature. This comes from from the macro level, at a higher level. 100 US company may shift base to UP from China. Now we had read companies from Japan and South Korea and the US are looking for a new base, and they favor India, and the process seems to have already started. They had first rounds of talks with the Industrial Minister of Uttar Pradesh, which is really good. If hundreds of companies start moving out of China, India can expect big economic growth in the days to come. The next nice news that we have on hand is we all read that Facebook has invested on Geo, and they are investing a huge sum, that is around 43,500 crores or something, and they have taken 10% stake in Geo, and their idea is to connect all the Kirana shops and make the payment through WhatsApp. So that was what was told in the beginning. Now they have other plans, they have some bigger plans. Now Facebook owned WhatsApp eyeing India's loan market. So they want to lend loans to the people because they are cash rich companies, they have a lot of money, and they would like to enter another sector here. Now this is what we call as diversification. This word is very important. Now what is diversification all about? Diversification is one company into a particular business moves on to another business which sometimes will be completely unrelated to the previous business. So this kind of a change is called diversification. If you take, for example, if you take Tata as an example, Tata manufactures salt, Tata salt, which is very, very popular. Tata also flies planes. The name of their brand is Vistara. Tata is into software, Tata is into chemicals, tea, coffee, everything. So such companies are called highly diversified companies, and this is also diversification. Facebook was basically into social media and all these things, connecting people and all that. From there they moved to WhatsApp, they took over WhatsApp, and now they wanted to enter the e-commerce space. Now they're talking about loan market and other things. So this goes to show how companies are diversifying and making the best use of the market that is available in the country. Right, the last news for this video is this: digital banking no longer a thing of choice. Now let us see how it all works. When people started, or human beings started feeling that they want something more than what they can produce, barter system came into existence. People exchanged the goods and services that they had, and there was nothing in common. So they wanted something which can act as a standard for exchange, and then money was invented. So money initially was made out of mud, coins were made out of mud, then metals were used, gold, silver, all these things were used. Next the alloys came, bronze is an alloy, and different metals were mixed together chemically and alloys were created, and from that the coins were made. Then paper money came into existence, we still use the paper money. Then plastic money was introduced, all the debit and the credit cards are plastic money. Now what we have is the digital money. We have our Paytm, Google Pay, Phone Pay, all these things. If WhatsApp comes with that, it becomes WhatsApp money and all that. So we are using the digital money now. So the form of money has changed. The function of the money continues to be the same. So now what we have to understand here is banks deal with money, and the commodity that the banks deal is money. So what happens now, if the money itself gets digitalized, automatically digital banking becomes very common. It will not be a special thing. It's now when we go and open accounts in the banks, they'll ask us, do you want internet banking, do you want phone banking? So such options will not be there in future. It is understood that we would need internet and mobile banking. So the banking industry will undergo a complete transformation. Right, so this was the update for today. If you are yet to register for our free video classes, you can click on the link which is there in the description and register yourself for the free video classes. We have already updated classes on economics and current affairs. If you have any doubts, if you want clarification, you can leave your doubts in the comment section and we shall get back to you with right answers. Thank you.